Ranger Rick, whose house? Fish Eyes, what a surprise. Slinky Minx. So this one is May of 2025, so this was last month.
I think it should be Sneaky Ninja.
Sneaky Ninjas, huh? So we have a full table of contents that we will be flipping through. These magazines are so fun. Okay, this one is a swirly swarm of western toed tadpoles. They're rising from the lake bottom in search of food near the surface. Oh, wow, that's interesting. Okay, so moving right along. Dear Ranger Rick. Okay, so in the last issue, we asked you to write poems about your favorite animals. You are all such wonderful poets. Here are just a few of your creations. Cicada, 17 years underground. Now you finally come around to find a suitable mate before it's too late. I hear you buzzing in the trees, louder than 1,000 bees. You fly and flip and flutter too. Yes, there's no other animal greater than you. This would be like, you could write poetry and that could be like your song lyrics. Okay, fox. Foxes are beautiful, but that's not all. They're clever and tricky, and some short and some tall. And if you spot one on a cold, frosty night, don't ever try to pet one, because it could bite. Bison haiku. You know where people see bison?
Where? Oh, like North Montana?
Catalina Island.
Oh.
Bison buffalo grazing on extra green grass, wallowing in dirt. Oh, and we also saw some buffalo in Utah and Idaho. Yeah. Okay. Duffy the cat. There once was a cat named Duffy. Duffy was pretty darn fluffy. Tippy loves when we read these stories. He looked like a pillow and sat by the willow all day looking very puffy. Cardinal in the night, cardinal in its flight. Cardinal, my best friend. Cardinal, see you again. Okay. Come on, tipsters. Come on, Skipper. She loves when we do story time, huh? Okay, what kind of dog likes to take bubble baths? A shampoodle. How do snails begin their fairy tales? Once upon a slime. What kinds of books do kangaroos read? Ones with hoppy endings. Why don't crabs walk on the road?
They prefer the sidewalk.
Yeah. And what's a wolf's favorite kind of pepper?
A jalapeno.
What board game do planets like to play?
Monopoly.
Reader riddles. Okay, the judge and the jail. Why did the judge send the fish to jail? Because it was guilty. Florida. Okay, American mink. It scared me. Okay. Get a glimpse into the busy watery life of Virginia minks. Okay, here we go. One spring day, wildlife photographer Stephen David Johnson sat on the bank of the Shenandoah River in Virginia, camera in hand, patiently waiting for wildlife. This is a familiar spot for Steve. He lives right next to the river and has spent many hours observing creatures that call it home. Suddenly, he spotted a long, slender, furry animal like this one. It was carrying something in its mouth, and Steve thought it was something was food. He watched the animal go back and forth across the riverbank a few times. Then he realized he was watching an American mink moving her babies from one den to another. His patience had been rewarded. Steve soon discovered that the mother had 5 babies, or kits, as she was caring for. Steve visited the busy mama and her kits as often as he could. The minks were curious about him too. Many times Steve would see one peeking out from behind a rock or a tree to get a good look at him. Are you curious about these animals? Read on. Okay, ready? Okay, here we go. Minks slink around on riverbanks in search of its prey. This one might have spotted something yummy in the water. This kit got separated from mom. Now it's crying out for her with a high-pitched squeak. The American mink lives all over North America and is semi-aquatic. That means it lives sometime in the water and sometime on land, right? Okay. Oh, that means it hangs out on land and water. It belongs to a group of animals called mustelids, which also includes weasels, ferrets, and otters. Most mustelids have long, slender bodies and short legs. They also have the bendiest backbones of any mammal. Why? It helps them slink in and out of burrows on land. This make tight turns in water and, for some reason, scramble around in trees. Like all mink kits, the 5 that Steve followed began life blind and totally dependent on their mother for protection, milk, and warmth. At birth, they were each covered with a coat of short, silvery hairs. Gosh, I need better lighting in here, Dylan. I just can't see anymore. Ooh, thank you. That's better. Soon they grew thick, glossy brown fur, which helps them stay warm and dry. The fur has special oils that keep water away from their skin. When the kits were a month old, their eyes opened. Soon after, they learned how to hunt and explore their watery world. Steve saw the kits in the river swimming close behind their mother. Once a kit got separated from the family and scampered along the riverbank, letting out squeaks, mom soon found it, and they were all reunited. Most mink litters have 4 or 5 kits that make a rowdy bunch. Wrestling and fighting are fun. They also help kits develop the skills they need later for hunting. Mink kits stick close to their mothers until fall, when they are ready to head out on their own. The next time you're on a riverbank, look for the mink paw prints. And they love to pile on as they move across this log together. Okay, Bill, come read with me. So these are these rivers and creeks are full of good things for minks to eat, like crayfish. And they enjoy a fresh caught meal. Look at that. Look at what he got. He got something out of the water.
Oh, a fish.
Fish, yeah. Minks hunt muskrats like this one, but they also sometimes take over their burrows. Ooh. Once mink kits leave their mother's side, they lead solo lives. Adult minks are active mainly at dusk and dawn. They spend their time splashing in and out of rivers and streams, searching for food. Minks are fierce hunters and can take down prey that's almost as big as they are. Their bodies, especially their jaws, are strong and muscular. Minks are not picky eaters. They catch rodents, fish, frogs, crayfish, snakes, anything they can get their paws on. Muskrats are one of their favorite meals. Minks are good climbers, so they even hunt birds or dine on their eggs. When not hunting, minks hang out in burrows, dig one themselves, or ones they've taken over from other animals. If a mink is threatened by a bigger predator, such as a hawk or a coyote, it doesn't usually run away. It'll shriek, hiss, arch its back, bare its teeth, and stomp on the ground. It can also release a smelly liquid to ward off attacks. Some people say this stuff smells worse than a skunk spray. Look at that face, Dylan. Oh, he's kind of cute, isn't he? American minks live across most of the United States and Canada. In the 1800s, people started killing minks to make coats and other clothing of their warm fur.
Mr. Mink, would you like to be a part of the clubhouse?
Yes. Eventually, people started raising minks on farms so they could make and sell more clothes. But during the last 10 years, the number of fur farms in the U.S. has gone way down. The wild minks that Steve was able to follow and photograph are probably still splashing around in the Shenandoah River and creeks that feed into it. In fact, Steve thinks he saw one of the kits, now mostly grown, hunting along a creek that flows into the Shenandoah. The mink spotted him and gave him a good long stare, as if to say, "Hey, I remember you," and then darted off along the riverbank looking for its next meal. Buzz. Oh, here we go with the night parrots, and we got a toad here we got to read about. Let's do the tiny toad. What sounds like a cricket, jumps like a flea, and can fit on your thumb? A newly discovered teeny tiny toad that lives in Brazil. Scientists say that the new species is a member of a group known as flea toadlets. This itty-bitty toad is a little different from other toads. It has fewer fingers and toes than larger toads do. And it doesn't start life as a tadpole. It comes out of its egg as a fully formed toad. A flea toadlet may be tiny, but it can leap distances 30 times its body length. That would be like a 6-foot tall person jumping half the length of a football field. Night parrots. Doesn't this remind you of the little parrots we used to have here in town? Dylan, you crack me up. Don't do that. Okay, found. Name a bird that's active at night. Do you think of a parrot? Probably not. However, an endangered bird called a night parrot lives in parts of the Western Australian wilderness. One of the rarest birds on Earth, the parrot is active at night because of the cooler temperatures. This part of the world can reach 100 degrees during the day, and there aren't many trees to use for shade. For a long time, the birds were thought to be extinct. Many were killed by feral cats or house cats that now live in the wild. Over the years, people have spotted a few night parrots here and there, but not very many. But recently, a large colony was discovered. Good night. The birds were found on land cared for by the indigenous Garupa Rangers set up special automatic microphones and cameras to detect these birds. Oh, scientists worked with them, rangers, to set up these detectors. Even though, and the rangers also found some of the birds' nests with eggs in them. Even though the night parrot is still considered critically endangered, these discoveries give hope for the future of this one-of-a-kind bird. 8 arms and a powerful punch. An octopus can be a pretty strict boss. It sometimes punches employees in the face. Wait, what? The workplace we are talking about is the ocean floor, where octopuses and fish sometimes hunt together. They make a good team. The fish fan out around the octopus, checking for little ocean creatures under rocks and shells. When the fish finds something, the octopus covers the area with its body, trapping the prey. The octopus often gets the meal, but sometimes the prey escapes the octopus and gets eaten by the fish. So teaming up is good for everyone, except the prey, of course. But scientists have seen octopuses punching some of the fish during the hunt. The octopus just whips out his arm and blam, hits the fish hard. But why? Some kinds of fish are excellent team players, but one type of fish, the black-tip grouper, often hangs out on the edges of the group, not really helping. See, they're kind of right here. Then it tries to take the food away. So scientists found that these free-loading fish get punched by octopuses more than the helper fish. Ouch. Rainbow returns. Yellowstone National Park is gigantic, bigger than the states of Rhode Island and Delaware combined. So when a cat escaped from a visiting couple's camper there, his owners were devastated. They were pretty sure they would never see him again. But the cat named Rainbow, the cat pronounced Rainbow, surprised everyone. He was found months later, skinny but healthy, 800 miles away from Yellowstone and only a few hours from his home in California. Luckily, the cat had a microchip in him, so a vet could scan it, ID the owners, and contact them. But how did Rainbow travel across 4 states, over mountains, and through deserts? Did he stow away on a bus or a train, or did he really walk all that way? Only Rainbow knows for sure, but his owners are just delighted to have him back. I tell you, cats are amazing, aren't they? They're so smart. Which nest is best? It all depends on the bird. Okay, a robin builds a classic cup-shaped nest of grasses and mud, often at the fork where 2 branches meet. For most birds, life begins in the nest. The nest holds the eggs and chicks. It also helps shelter the delicate eggs from predators. But not all nests are alike. They come in different shapes, sizes, styles, and settings. Here are a few examples. Okay, out on a limb, a hummingbird makes a tiny cup nest from soft, fuzzy plant material. It weaves everything together with sticky spider silk and then adds a bit of lichen for camouflage. In a tree hole, a woodpecker pecks out its own cavity or hole in the trunk of a dead or dying tree. Once the woodpecker family leaves, a chickadee or other cavity nester may move in. Okay, dangling from above. An oriole, well known for its impressive nest construction. It weaves together fluffy and stringy plant bits into a bag-shaped nest that hangs under a branch. On the ground. Not all birds' nests are in trees. Nest in trees. An ovenbird builds its dome-shaped nest on the forest floor. Look at that dome-shaped nest, like a little cave. Using bits and pieces of whatever it finds nearby, the side door makes it look like an old-fashioned oven. Finally, leaves and twigs are added on top for protection and camouflage. Okay, in the open. Some birds don't make nests at all. A killdeer scratches out a spot on a bare or rocky ground for its eggs. It's a good thing that this bird and its speckled eggs are well camouflaged. Yeah, it looks kind of like rocks. At the shore. Oh, and you can also scan and learn more about nests. Many kinds of waterfowl nest on the ground. Some, such as the Canada goose, use mud, sticks, and plant bits to build a platform in or near the edge of a lake or waterway. Okay, with the gang. Most seabirds nest together in groups called colonies. Some build nests in trees and others on the ground or bare rocks. Some of these kittiwakes use cliffs or sea coves. Many use very few nesting materials or none at all. Hey, that's my house. When a photographer put up a nest box near his house in England, he had no idea how much action it would bring to his yard. Okay. A few years ago, photographer Nick Upton wanted to create a cozy home for wildlife in his leafy backyard, so he hung a simple wooden nest box in a tree and waited to see who might move in. A pair of jackdaws. Jackdaws are crow cousins that live in many parts of Europe and Asia. This bird raised a little family of 3 chicks in that box. And okay, we're moving along. Okay, so knock knock. After a winter away, the jackdaw pair is back and ready to raise a new family of chicks. But wait, is this place taken? Oh, look, what's in there? It's a squirrel. It's Freddy. Looks like a squirrel has already claimed the box for the season. Uh-oh, make that 2 squirrels. The jackdaws retreat to a nearby tree. The next morning, the squirrels peek out to see if the coast is clear. Not quite. The jackdaws have been watching the nest box. When they spot the squirrels at the entrance, the birds swoop in and try to scare them off. And the jackdaw isn't giving up this time. It's ready to fight. 2 squirrels scamper off, giving the jackdaws the chance to move back in for now. So, for several days, the squabbling continued. Nick watched all the drama from a hidden spot nearby. Even took photos, you see here. Who won in the end? Who do you think won? The squirrels or the jackdaws? Surprise! One evening, Nick spotted a new visitor in the box, a male tawny owl. The owl had scared off the jackdaws and the squirrels, but he wasn't alone for long. Soon, a mate joined him. A few weeks later, they were raising an owlet in the nest box. Look at that. But that wasn't the end of the story either. The owls returned next year and the year after that. And in 2024, the pair raised 2 healthy, hungry babies. Here is Dad Owl bringing home the owlet's dinner. Okay. Ranger Rick, leave it to beavers. Here's another adventure. We'll just let everyone freeze frame this and read it if they want to read it. It's getting late. And it's the usual Ranger Rick, Boomer, and Scarlet Fox. Their little misadventures. It's a whole story. Okay, final page. I will read Ranger Rick's field notes though. Beavers had disappeared from England because of hunting and habitat loss. In 2023, conservationists, with the help of local community, released a family of 5 Eurasian beavers to Paradise Fields in West London. The beavers had made themselves at home and had given birth to at least 2 babies. Just by doing what comes naturally, beavers improve the land in areas where they live. They build dams and dig canals, which both help to reduce flooding. Dams filter the water too, making it cleaner. Okay, here we go. Fish eyes. Keep an eye out. This cute spotted porcupine fish is staring right at you. He sure is. Look, he's even smiling, Dylan. Isn't he cute? Or is it? The fish has a talent. It can move its eyes in different directions. See how one eye is looking left and the other eye is on the right is staring straight ahead. Oh yeah, it's true. That may let the porcupine fish look for food with one eye and watch for enemies with the other. Take a look. You could never win a staring contest against a fish. That's because fish can't blink their eyes. They have no eyelids to let them blink, wink, or even shut their eyes to sleep. Can you imagine never shutting your eyes? That would be just too much for me.
I'd be like, how am I gonna sleep? Okay, good night.
My eyes would just be burning. People need to blink often to keep their eyes moist, but fish, of course, live in water, so their eyes are always wet. Fish eyes are different from people's in other ways too. For example, when you open your eyes underwater, everything looks blurry. But fish can see clearly underwater. Their eyes work as if they had built-in goggles. Fish eyes are full of surprises. Some kinds of fish have eyes in funny places. Others have eyes that are invisible. There are fish with fake eyes and even fish with no eyes at all. Dylan, I don't know how they even survive. Keep reading to learn more about these and other fish, and you won't believe their eyes. Hide your eyes. The colorful markings on this emperor angelfish help break up the outline of its body. They can make it harder for hungry enemies to tell it's a fish. To complete the disguise, the mask across its face makes its dark eyes disappear. Oh yeah, it does look like it's wearing a mask, doesn't it? Eyes in disguise, ready-made shades. Okay, skates are flat, rounded fish that look a lot like their stingray cousins. Oh no, it's these guys. These are flat. They often live in shallow water where the sun can be bright. But that's no problem for a skate. It has built-in sunshades. Oh, look, Dylan. This looks like it would be an eye, but its face is right over here. This little tiny mouth. But that's no problem. Okay. In this super close-up view of a skate's eye, you can see a fancy flap of skin that looks like an eye, like eyelashes. It spreads out to shade the eye from too much light. Oh yeah, interesting. Bumpy eye. Oh, look at this guy, and a frowny mouth. That's an actual fish. I thought it was a rock. Okay, and then this, look that's an actual fish.
Oh my.
I thought it was like a coral reef or something. Okay, this beautiful copper band butterfly fish has a trick eye for fooling its enemies. On its tail end, there is a big black spot that serves as a false eye. It may trick enemies into attacking there, where they can do less damage than a fish's head. And with the enemy at the back of the fish, it's easier to zip away. Meanwhile, a yellow stripe goes right through the fish eye, the real fish eye, as if it weren't even there. I spy. A reef stonefish is the master of disguise. Its body looks like a lot like a lumpy coral reef. Oh, that's what that is. A reef stonefish. Okay, but listen to this. It's always watching for prey, and if an unsuspecting fish swims up too close, slurp. As I was saying, the stonefish sucks the prey right into its large mouth. The wandering eye. Look at that. This is a winter flounder. And it spends its adult life lying on its side on the ocean floor. And as the fish looks up, watching for something to eat, two eyes are better than one. Look at that. It's like sideways. There's its mouth. And this is the side of him, and he's got two eyes.
I also know about the frogfish.
Yeah?
I didn't tell you about that one.
Okay. How about the great hammerhead shark? These are pretty vicious guys. Okay, it's got an unusual shaped head. It's kind of like a hammer. And look at its eyes. They're on the edges. This might seem strange, but the placement of the eyes give the shark excellent vision. It can see almost all the way around itself. A great way to keep an eye out or two for prey and predators. Okay, and then this one is, oh, look at this. An eye of the urchin. A sea urchin might be too prickly for some creatures. Imagine being stabbed in the eye, like this guy, as you're trying to eat it. But the eyes of the triggerfish are safe from the prickly prize. They're much further back in its head, and so the triggerfish can also turn the urchin over by blowing a stream of water at it. It may even grab the urchin by the spine and flip it over. Look, it's kind of grabbing it right there. The spines on the urchin's underside are shorter than those on top. And since the fish's eyes are so far back, it can munch its meal without getting its eyes poked out. So these are definitely eyes in strange places. Oddball eyes. So this one, Dylan, is the tiger shark. Look at that. What makes it a tiger shark, though?
So maybe some tiger sharks are striped.
Here's the code. You can watch more of these amazing little stories and creatures. Pause to watch the video. Okay, nictitating membranes. Okay, so let's see here. This is a nictitating membrane. So when they're going in to attack something, the nictitating membrane moves to cover the eyes of the shark. That protects them from being injured by struggling prey. Very interesting. Okay, this one has no eyes. So this one's called a cave fish. And because there's no light in there, the fish have no need to see. So some have eyes that don't work well, and others have no eyes at all. But that's no problem. Sensitive spots on the sides of the cave fish's body let them feel the movements or vibrations in the water. It's like a spidey sense that helps the cave fish detect predators and prey as well as each other.
It's kind of like your Spider-Man.
Yeah, but can you imagine living life with like utter darkness? That's just so scary. Double vision. The four-eyed fish doesn't really have four eyes, but its eyes worked as if it did. Each eye is divided into an upper and lower half. So the upper half see in the air and the lower half see in the water. So they can swim right on the surface, Dylan, and watch what's going on above and below at the same time. Okay, here's the eyes on this fish. Look at that. Looking up. This is the barrel eye. And the deep sea fish swims with its eyes pointed upward and inside its head. It can do that because its head is see-through. Oh wow, it is see-through. And this fish watches for food that drifts down from above. Okay, and then this one is called a flashlight fish. It stays hidden during the day and it comes out at night to find food. And when it does, it has a built-in flashlight to light the way. Under the fish's eye is a patch of glowing bacteria. The fish use a skin-like flap to cover and uncover a light to attract prey and signal other fish in its school or confuse enemies. What a brilliant idea. So whether they blend in or stick out, light up or fake out, fish eyes are always a sight to see. Okay, differences. Let's see, come Dylan. There are 6 differences between the 2 photos. Let's see if we can find 6 of them. Okay, ready? Come. What do you see that's different? Let's follow along here and see what we see that's different. Okay, so the blue one is different. That's one. Keep following along. Look at, oh.
I'm trying all. This one has a dot, and that one doesn't.
Okay, 2. This one's facing down, this one's facing up. That's 3.
This one and that one.
Yep. 4. We're pretty good at this, aren't we? Okay. Let's see. Oh, this one's facing this way, this one's facing that way. 5. One more. One more, baby boy. Oh, look, the color. The gray is blue, and this one's really gray. Yay. Okay, Mother's Day bouquet. I love these little stories. Surprise Mom with these colorful coffee filter flowers. Ooh, I like that, Dylan. You made me one of these coffee filter gifts from St. James, but it was a little butterfly and it's still on our fridge. What you need to make one flower: 3 coffee filters, newspaper, washable markers, spray bottle filled with water, green pipe cleaner, a vase, and perfume, which is optional. So what you do is you place the coffee filters on several sheets of newspaper. Scribble on one side of each of the filters with markers. The more ink that goes on the filter, the more colorful the flower will be. Tip: choose colors that blend well together. Generously spray the colored coffee filters with water. The colors will run together and create a beautiful watercolor blossom. Once the coffee filters have dried, place them on top of each other. While keeping the filters stacked, pinch them together in the center of the circle to form a crinkly blossom, like shown here. For the stem, wrap one end of the pipe cleaner around the pinched area, and then gently separate and pull apart the coffee filter layers. Place the flower in a vase. Repeat steps 1 through 5 to create a bouquet. If you want, you can also lightly spray some perfume on your flowers. What a great little craft. Again, you can subscribe and scan the QR code.
Video, scan QR code.
Yeah. Okay, and then we have Holy Homes crossword just for fun. So you have to find mouse, mole, grub, fox, and ant are 3 letters. Okay, and then a shrew. These are the 5-letter ones. And then badger, earwig. Oh, I haven't heard of an earwig in years. They have the little pinchers on the end. A gopher, a ferret, and a puffin. Those are 6 letters. 7 letters would be the muskrat, and then the tortoise, and then the groundhog, and then the prairie dog, and the kingfisher. And this would be how you fill in your puzzle. So you'd have to figure out how many spaces for each of the words. Mole hole. Okay, and the same thing, you want to start and you want to just go on the path. You're staying with the tunnel. She always eats, let's see, Mindy Mole gobbles at least half her weight in little underground creatures every day, but she always eats them in this order. So this is the guide for this game. So it's like a little worm and a little ant and then a little worm and then a little, what do you call these, Dylan? Like a roly-poly?
Yeah.
Like a pill bug? And then a worm, and then like, what is this? Like a little beetle? And then a worm, and then a bee. So you would have to go through in that order to get from start to finish. Okay. And that's nuts. Okay, see, these are all the different, the dogwood berries, the hazelnut, the maple samara, the beech nut, the acorn, sunflower seeds. And see, there's the answer key for this one. And these are some of the things she eats underground. Wow. Amazing. Okay. That's it. Why did a real bird just fly in and land on the head of a fake bird that's stuck on a stand? Very cool. What did you used to say when you were little, Dylan? That's it. No more. You always used to say that when you were a little baby.
Make sure to
That's
like,
it.
comment, and subscribe. That's it.
No more.